Hey everybody, this is Pastor Megan with Travel Faithfully here in New York, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about ACT UP, where they talked about silence equals death. In the beginning of the AIDS crisis, 89 and 90s, ACT UP was a group that was trying to get information out that people were dying, to make it possible for drugs to be developed, because at the time the disease was called GRID, gay-related immune deficiency, and people were completely happy with gay people dying and drug addicts because they thought that they were a taint on society and it would not be missed if they passed away, and so people were not quick to work on medical care. In the midst of that crisis, it was declared that people should not wear condoms at this cathedral. This is St. Patrick's Cathedral, and 111 people were arrested with ACT UP when they had a die-in the middle of the sanctuary, and it's a beautiful sanctuary, so I can imagine staring at the ceiling for a while was probably not the worst thing that people did. But knowing that a whole generation of people was dying around you and no one cared, imagine there being a genocide and like Ebola comes to New York and just no one cares. They're like, we're not interested, you can't come to the hospital, don't worry about it, you're gonna be fine. Or you're not, and we don't care. So this is one of those times where bad theology meets bad timing. And when that happens, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, and it's not something that can be easily repented, easily forgiven, and easily forgotten. And if you wonder why it's hard for gay people to go to churches, it's because of bad theology like this. And the Catholics were not alone on this one. Even though we're celebrating the 500th year of the Reformation, this was not a time when the Lutherans were doing a better thing. We were also struggling with LGBT issues, and congregations in the Castro district in San Francisco were being expelled from the church for calling LGBT pastors specifically to be chaplains to people who were dying of AIDS. And so we all have work to do on this issue, and if you can, and if you know gay people who are still hurting from this time when theology was bad and the timing was bad, say you're sorry on behalf of the whole church. We all have to do it collectively, because otherwise silence equals death. It really is true, and it's not fun to talk about, but if we can be honest about bad theology and ensuring that we're not perpetuating spiritual abuse in the world, maybe churches really will be a safe space or a sanctuary space for all people who need it. Take care, everybody.